Wosu will send it away. Wiltshire back deep for the Illini. And a touchback to start it out.
They were in a hostile environment last week in Lincoln, Nebraska. Not as many people, but very loud. And they operated pretty smoothly in that setting.
Handoff, Fagan, drilled. Loses a yard. Handoff, Fagan, second down run, and he picks up a chunk to make it 3rd down and 6. Kobe King with a shoestring tackle for this Penn State defense that a year ago was one of the best in the country and returns a ton of talent.
Yeah, different coordinator. Manny Diaz left to be the head coach at Duke. Tom Allen comes in, former head coach at Indiana. Still a lot of talent. They have not had the numbers of the havoc plays, sacks, tackles for loss that they were accustomed to a year ago. But this is a big 3rd down opportunity for him right here. Abdul Carter now right here, lined up, not as a defensive end, but right over the center.
First throw for Altmaier. It's a completion. Zachary Franklin and a 1st down. Picks up 13. Go to the motion man. Delayed handoff for Fagan. He slips a tackle and picks up a yard. It's been less about volume for Altmaier, more about efficiency. 10 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Free play. Carter was offsides. Take a shot.
Altmaier does. It's caught. Franklin again. Battling with Jalen Kimber, the Florida transfer, and he wins it.
Offside. Defense number 11. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
He jumped off sides twice against West Virginia, and then he just stopped on the play, and credit Altmaier. Go ahead, take a shot. You know you have a free play, take a shot, and they beat Kimber with the throw.
It's a heck of a catch by Zachary Franklin, the FBS active leader in receptions, receiving touchdowns, and receiving yards. He's done it for a long time, and he has delivered leading pass catcher, had 21 receptions coming into the night. 2 running backs in there, play action for Altmaier. Set it up, Fagan, nice grab, goes off with a one hand and picks up 6. 2nd down and 4, pitch it, Fagan looking to get to the outside, and he does keep the footing. Looks like he's got enough for the 1st down before going out of bounds, and a late flag comes in. The extra hit as Jalen Reed came over from the safety spot and delivered some pain.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds defense. That 15-yard penalty is, of course, half the distance to the goal line. Includes an automatic 1st down.
He was clearly in the white. I mean, you know, it was a hit on the hip area, but he was all the way into the white out of bounds. And that's a costly penalty against this Penn State defense. Luke Altmaier changing the play. Again, the crowd was a little quiet, enough for him to change it verbally.
Handoff. Fagan was patient to get himself to the 10. 2nd down and 6. Altmaier, good time, floats it, end zone, and Franklin slipped.
Carter's on right here, Sutton's up here.
Franklin in motion, it's 3rd down and 6. Altmaier delivers, caught in stride, the extension from Bryant, and let's see where they mark him. It's going to be awfully close to that 1st down line, and it's going to depend on the spot. It looks like they're going to give him the 1st down.
Carter is 6'3", 200 pounds, little crossing route. Again, man-to-man coverage, little mesh routes, crossing routes in the red zone are very effective. Get it to your big receiver, get it to him quick, and then he fights that ball forward for the 1st down.
Bryant, 21 catches now in the season, 6 of them for scores, 1st and goal. Altmaier looks wide open, touchdown, Carson Goda. Illinois with a brilliant drive to stun the crowd at Beaver Stadium. Extra point from Olano, sneaks through.
Touchback, 1st and 10, Nittany Lions.
Bounce back season so far for Nick Singleton. It'll be through the air on first down, and a beautiful dart to Trey Wallace. See the velocity, the arm strength on that last throw. Now the handoff, no, play action. Aller has shown the ability to run this year and picks up 11. Singleton finds that hole, bursts forward for 14. Midway through this first quarter, it's been all offense with two teams that post very good defenses coming in. Aller back to the air, pulls it down. Aller dumps it short of Liam Clifford. Good to see Wormley get off the field on his own power. Singleton makes a cut, delivers the hit, and gets it across the 25. Split Singleton out. Wallace in motion. Aller surveys, delivers. Singleton wide open, looking to turn it up the sideline. First and goal.
Well, we saw the rub route by Illinois. Same thing for Penn State. You anticipate man, so you bring these guys in and you send your intended target out. And you pick off the guy who's responsible for the back. There's a collision, it's clean, and you get an easy conversion. Rosiak, number 28, was the guy responsible for Nicholas Singleton. Had no chance of getting out in coverage.
Singleton caught a touchdown last week, has showed how versatile he can be in the passing game. Warren, the motion man. Aller will change the play with 5 on the clock. Singleton up the middle. Gets it down to the 3. They split Aller out. It's going to be Tyler Warren, who threw a touchdown last week. Go over the top. Touchdown. Warren can do it all. Another touchback means Illinois will start another drive. To the air on first down, it's Bryant. And a gain of 15 plus, ends up going for 18 on the first down catch and run. Flag down, they're going to take another shot. Altmaier going deep, incomplete, another flag in.
Yep.
Bryant matched up with Harris.
Well, that's twice now we've seen Luke Altmaier anticipating a penalty on Penn State and taking a shot down the field, which is very smart.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Offside, defense number 15, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense number 4. That 15-yard penalty is enforced in the previous spot and includes an automatic first down.
And as Luke Altmaier says, there's no matchup where he feels he's the lesser of the two. As Lafley gets his first carry and maybe picks up half a yard, Zane Durant wrapped him up quickly. Franklin in motion on 2nd and 9. Deep drop. Altmaier gets rid of it. Lofts. And just a little bit too tall for Franklin as Elliott Washington stayed with him the entire way. 3rd and long. Crowd back involved.
Carter back as a linebacker now, stepping up in the A-gap over the left guard.
Altmaier with time. Steps up. Won't get there. Perfect pursuit. Tony Rojas, the sophomore linebacker, forces 4th down. Hugh Robertson, the 31-year-old Australian punter, is out to try to pin the Nittany Lions deep. Caden Saunders back to receive.
Brett Bielema, a huge believer in the field position game.
And it works out beautifully.
The ruling on the field of a kicking team player being forced out of bounds stands as called. First down and 10.
So the contact from Elliott Washington II keeps this as a perfect pin at the 4-yard line. Now Penn State's going to have to go 96 yards. Handoff on first down. Katron Allen nearly broke it. He'll pick up 13. Singleton now split out wide on 1st and 10. Empty for Aller. Plenty of time. Delivers a rifle for Clifford. And he gains 4. True freshman tight end Luke Reynolds in the game. We've got both backs in there as well. See if Allen gets another crack. It is Allen. Gets through the hole, and Allen across the 30.
It's such a good 1-2 punch. I mean, they are both productive. They're different styles. They got the backup tight end in there kind of as a lead blocker. And then you see the ability to just break tackles by Katron Allen.
Singleton, 3 carries, 25 yards. Allen, 2 for 24 already. Now it's Aller looking to step up and gets dumped. Time ran out on Aller, and he loses a couple. Minimal loss. Julian Fleming, the Ohio State transfer, in motion on 2nd and 11. Over the middle, it is Fleming, and he gets sandwiched at the 39. Third and 4. Aller on time, and Wallace looks like he's going to be a yard short.
A good open field tackle, because this is a tough play here. He's got some space outside. Good open field tackle again by Xavier Scott.
So James Franklin thought it over in between the quarters, and it looks like it will be a punt for the Nittany Lions.
Wow.
A little bit of a surprise.
I'm a little surprised just because of the way they've run the football here in the first quarter. I know they're on their side of the 50.
So Riley Thompson to send it away. Hank Beatty back, calls for the fair catch and makes it just inside the 10. True freshman Khalil Valentine in at the back, and they give it to him on the delay. Valentine trips. Jalen Reed came from the back and made sure he got nowhere else. Josh McCray in on 2nd and 9. Play action. Altmaier perfectly there. Franklin has been huge in this first half.
Well, this is an RPO, and this is a quarterback that's confident, because Penn State's bringing pressure, but there's the open slant. They bite on the run fake, and Altmaier makes them pay.
McCray dragged down, loses 3. Altmaier. Carter got through, couldn't get all the way to him. Altmaier gets drilled. Kobe King, the captain linebacker, delivering the pain.
I would expect zone from Penn State defensively here.
Altmaier, swing it. McCray has to be special.
Oh my goodness.
And he might be. McCray, first down. What an effort.
What blocks on the perimeter, because this was a floating pass. He had to get it over a defender. But watch as McCray comes out here, watch the blocks on the perimeter. How long they hold the blocks, and then McCray takes what was just a safe play to set up a punt and turns it into a first down. Incredible blocking on the perimeter by the tight ends and wide receivers for the Illini.
30-yard pickup.
Wow.
To convert on 3rd and forever. Keeps the drive alive for Altmaier. And he just gets rid of this one just a little bit in the direction of Khalil Valentine. Altmaier, shovel, Valentine. Altmaier feeling the pressure. Leave it, McCray dropped it, and the flag is down.
Legal shift. Offense number 58. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
See what the 31-year-old has in store here.
Perfect place for the punt. My goodness.
Tyler Warren told us yesterday the appreciation that these players have for their fans is through the roof. Singleton on the jump cut and dragging tacklers for 8. Clifford in motion, delayed handoff. Singleton will surge forward to the 20 and picks up the first down. They'll keep it. Pribula show off the wheels for 7.
The only thing about running that way is you lose one blocker because you're not asking Drew Aller to block anybody. He's just going to get off the line of scrimmage and get out of the way. So you're short one blocker, but it's still a productive play by Bo Pribula.
Todd, how were you as a blocker?
I could block on reverses, you know, like if the guy didn't know I was coming.
Yeah.
I was pretty good in that. I mean, the guy saw me coming. I just kind of.
I feel like you were around it your whole life. You had to be pretty good.
Well, my dad was an O-line coach, so I couldn't just olay people. I had to at least give effort.
No olay for the O-line. 2nd and 3. Handoff, Singleton, first down. Aller loads it up. Right into the chest of Tyler Warren. Shows you his sure-handed ability for a gain of 15.
Well, great job by Drew Aller. Watch Drew Aller again when he comes back. Look left, work back to the middle and right in between the linebackers. It's a zone defense by Illinois, and he moves the defenders enough with his eyes to open up the middle for his favorite target, Tyler Warren.
Warren came in the leading pass catcher, yard getter, and touchdown maker in the past game. Efficient day once again for Aller. Completed 81% of his passes last week in his second career 300-yard game. Now it's Katron Allen's turn. Oh, he bounces off of one and ushered out of bounds. Shows off the strength, flexing for the crowd on a gain of 16.
Yeah, Miles Scott was the guy who got the worst end of this. But watch a little hesitation, right? Little hesitation and pops back out and then lowers the pads and delivers the blow on the way to the sideline. That's running with authority and running behind your pads.
Allen again. Spun down across the 35. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Allen will make it 3rd down and 2. Kreutz is in there in relief. Empty set. Aller, quick, Clifford, first down.
Wow.
Singleton back in on first down. Aller sets the feet, dumps it down, and nowhere to go for Tyler Warren. Will pick up 4. Aller will take the shot, and it's in out of the hands of Khalil Dinkins. With 5:04 left in this quarter, remember, it is Penn State to get the football to start the second half. Empty set on 3rd and 6. Aller on the run. Incomplete. A little bit too high for Wallace. Sander Sahadak, the redshirt junior from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. 2 for 3 on the season. Long is from 43. This one is going to be a 40-yarder. And Sahadak missed it. Wide left. Fagan breaks away. Fagan stays on his feet into Penn State territory. A.J. Harris trips him up, but a big gainer of 32.
And this is an offense that prior to that play, only 11 yards rushing. They pull the backside guard and the tight end, a couple missed tackles, and hard running by the 250-pound Fagan. 11 yards rushing before that play, and all of a sudden now Illinois in Penn State territory after one play.
Longest run of the season for the Illini. Fagan, 6 carries, 47 yards. He's got the rock again, and he gets planted. Zane Durant. Second and 12, play action. Altmaier surveys, steps up, gets away from the sack. Now Altmaier extending. Altmaier is going to have the first down with his legs.
You can just see how effective playing at Nebraska last week was for this Illinois team.
Fagan will get a yard. Second down and 9. Laffery.
Interesting, that time they put Abdul Carter on the other side. Here comes Bryant in motion now, trips to the left.
Altmaier steps up, already ran for 1 first down. Going to look to do it again, but he's shoved out of bounds with a flag down.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 3. The penalties enforced half the distance to the goal line. Includes an automatic first down.
That's Jalen Kimber right here, the cornerback who gets called for the penalty. Unnecessary roughness. I mean, if an offensive player does that, they could call that a blindside block. It's a defensive player. No, that's not 3, though. That's 13. That's Tony Rojas, not 3. Kimber.
Costly keeps the drive alive, and Illinois has it inside the 15, where they have been unblemished.
If we have a break here, I really would like to hear Terry's comment on that play.
Fagan up the gut. Fagan lowers the shoulder inside the 5. Altmaier will just take it forward himself and pick up the first down. It's Henderson.
Oh boy.
Tough snap. Altmaier couldn't get to it. Fagan does, and he gets wrapped up. Major loss all the way back behind the 10 as Abdul Carter sniffed it out. Loses 9. Fake the handoff, and Altmaier buried. 3rd and goal from the 14. 10th play of the drive.
Still have Bryant right here.
Altmaier surveys, floats it, end zone, nobody home.
Toss it down at the spot of the foul. It's 4th down.
They called intentional grounding.
Yeah, grounding has a 10-second runoff option. Penn State is declining that option. The game clock will start on the snap.
Season-long, career-long 50 and a flag.
My goodness, this is exactly what Brett Bielema doesn't want.
Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And the kick curves out. No good.
So interesting now. Remember, James Franklin could have taken a 10-second runoff with the intentional grounding. Decided not to do that. He knows what his quarterback and offense is capable of doing with 44 seconds left.
We've seen more explosives from this group. Aller will take the shot to the outside. He's got the completion. Omari Evans with his first catch out of bounds. Nope, make it Trey Wallace. And Nittany Lions will get the football to start the second half. Aller lofts, sideline, incomplete, looking for Warren. Wallace the motion man on 2nd and 10. Aller in and out of the hands of Warren.
Yeah, he just missed the throw. He read the corner blitz.
Aller gobbled up.
And at a very timely place for this Illinois defense.
And this one will be returned by Singleton. Singleton weaves through and then just runs into a pile across the 25. Singleton drags for none. Aller keeps, he's got a lot of space. Aller with a shimmy shake and then took some contact from Miles Scott as he lowered the shoulder. Fleming the motion man on 1st down. Aller looks back the other way. Under pressure, gets away. Aller keeps it himself. No, he just gets
he's
rid
got
of
to
it.
run that. He needs to just run this one.
Singleton Has one to beat and
Oh,
can't
what a
do
tackle.
so. Torrey Cox Jr. just held on for dear life. Split Warren, empty set.
Cover zero look for Illinois here. Looked like pressure. Backing out.
Aller
Really
lets
good
it go. Singleton gets there. The power. We've seen it in the weight room. Nick Singleton, 570-pound squat, used all of it here.
Well, Illinois showed pressure, then backed out. It was excellent defense. They forced the dump off, but Singleton still able to convert it into a first down because of his strength. Oh, what a chip by Singleton first.
Right on Gabe Akis at 6'3", 275, and Singleton put him on his backside. So Singleton goes off. Katron Allen now in there. Allen up the middle for 7. Talked about the strength and the squat ability of Nick Singleton. Here it is, 575 times.
Yeah.
That's absurd. Now, Saquon Barkley is known as Saquon's the squat god in some respects. He squatted 600 when he was here at Penn State. Did give him some respect as we got a flag on the field.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
So 2nd and 3 becomes 2nd and 8. Aller delivers. It's caught. Vacuumed in by Tyler Warren. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, good spot for the football and sure hands by Tyler Warren on the out route.
Aller's going to throw for it. Aller a lot of time. Now he feels it and dirts it.
Prior to the pass being thrown, holding, defense number 17. 10-yard penalty includes an automatic first down.
Singleton to the 20.
Yeah, Penn State, see if they can capitalize on the penalty.
Play action. Aller over the middle. It's caught. 1st and goal. Nice catch made by Omari Evans.
Yeah, his first catch of the game. I mean, he had 4 for over 100 last week against Kent State, his biggest game of his career. Actually, only 4 catches in his career before then.
10th play of the drive is a run. And just right into the pile for 2. Dinkins the tight end on the end. Warren the man in motion. Singleton the ball carrier. And he'll push his way to the 4. Warren, handoff. Too much space. Singleton scintillating. Touchdown, Penn State. Another touchback. 49 sacks last year, just 4 coming in to this one. Play action on first down. Altmaier, another completion of Franklin. That's how they started the game, and a flag is down.
Illegal shift. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. First down.
1st and 15. Fagan gets away from the first. Reversing field. Fagan turns nothing into something. Would have been a loss of 5, gains 2. Altmaier delivers. Arkin stopped. Kobe King crowning himself on a beautiful play once again.
Yeah, Kobe King does a good job of avoiding a block. Watch Kobe King right here. They're going to try to block him. He eludes the block and makes the tackle in the open field. What an athletic play by Kobe King.
Here comes the rush. Altmaier steps up, delivers, it's batted down. Abdul Carter showing off the versatility. 4th down. Robertson looking to get it away, and a flag.
Well, that can't happen. I mean, that's bad operation right there by Illinois. I don't think that's crowd noise. That's just lackadaisical effort by the punt team of Illinois.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start. Kicking number 42. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Robertson takes his time. Saunders calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 42-yard line. Allen and Singleton combined 6.7 yards per carry between the two. Best starting field position for the Nittany Lions, and here is Allen lowering the shoulder and getting a few extra.
Boy, he is really broken tackles tonight. 151 yards now rushing for Penn State. Really leaning on their strength.
And rocking with it. Allen, 1st down run. Allen keeps the legs churning inside the 40.
And all this does is set up anything you want to do in your play action game.
Another handoff. Allen this time dragged down after a gain of 2 by Joe Barna. He keeps it. Prabula looking to show off his escapability and does pick up 2 yards. Warren keeps it himself. Too strong up the middle. Tyler Warren, what can you do?
They have Prabula run it the play before. Didn't work. All right, let's put Warren in there. The last time he let Katron Allen keep it, same thing. Put that edge rusher in conflict. This time he feathered more to the back, and Warren made the right decision. Again, former high school quarterback, probably about 25 pounds ago, running with more power now, but making excellent quarterback decisions in that position.
Move the sticks. Allen. And the handoff, a couple of yards forward for Allen. Gabe Akis, first contact.
Big play right here for the Illinois defense. They got to get a stop.
Allen to the backfield. Allen up the middle, and he's wrapped up, gains 2. And now the decision for Penn State. Do you kick it, or do you try to step on the throat?
Pretty long, too. I mean, just looking over there. He's keeping his offense on the field, bringing in an extra tight end right now.
Fleming goes out wide. 4th and 3. They will run it. Allen looking to throw it. He's completed. Short. Julian Fleming couldn't get there, and what a tackle made by Miles Scott. Turnover on downs. Arkin in motion. Handoff on 1st down on the cutback. McCray wrapped up by Kobe King. These two teams have given up a combined 19 points in the second half this season. Altmaier over the middle, that's a completion, and Arkin is going to fight forward towards that line again, and it looks like it'll be a half-yard shy.
Now, Penn State brought pressure from the left, but it came from so far off the line of scrimmage, Altmaier was not fazed by it at all. Was able to stay right in there and make the throw, bringing up 3rd and very short. I think they're going to just go to the 4th quarter. Just wait, not run a play here. Get the exact call they want on 3rd down.
The end of the 3rd quarter.
QB sneak, and Altmaier looks like he's got it. Altmaier in trouble. Down he goes. Zane Durant.
The quickness of Zane Durant and the presence of Abdul Carter. Carter is the guy that gets their attention. Watch, Carter's going to get the attention here. Durant is going to use his quickness, and Illinois is so concerned about Carter that they let Durant slide through and get right to the quarterback. He is really quick off the ball.
Altmaier on 2nd and 17. Dump it. McCray across the 25. Tripped up by Kobe King. But he does get it all back and sets up 3rd and long. Altmaier feeling the pressure. Down he goes! Penn State gets home! The Nittany Lions wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Penn State has changed the line of scrimmage tonight.
Cam Miller, who had an interception on Altmaier last year, comes up with a sack there. And Saunders will let this one roll all the way to the 32. That'll help with Singleton on 1st down. Just continues to move. Lost the ball at the end.
Yeah, it got ripped out. The only question is, was he down before the ball came out?
Clear recovery. It's Illinois football.
The runner's left shin was down prior to the ball being fumbled. The ball be placed at the 42.5-yard line. Penn State football, 1st down and 10.
Picks up the block here. Aller loading it up, going deep. Incomplete, and a flag. He was looking for Amari Evans, his deep threat.
Well, the perfect time right after the reversal on the review. The first time they've tried to throw the ball.
Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Includes an automatic 1st down.
The ball was underthrown, and the defender could not slow down before making contact. Had no idea where the ball was. First time we've seen Drew Aller unload one down the field, and he got the penalty.
So Terrence Brooks, the Texas transfer, and these stats courtesy of PFF. You see Aller's rating, #1 among Power 4 quarterbacks when letting it fly 20+ yards downfield.
And that was a real weakness last year. I mean, he did a lot of really good things last year, but the throws down the field were lacking.
Singleton, patience, power, speed, 1st down inside the 30. Singleton and Allen have combined for 172 on the ground. Illinois as a team has 172 rushing yards. They'll lose one here with Akis reading that one the entire way. Play clock down to 3. Singleton picks up 3. Akis again.
So you're working clock, you're working methodically, but you want to score, and why not put Tyler Warren back in here on 3rd down? He's been super effective so far.
Worked every time so far. Allen the handoff. This time it's sniffed out. Nice read by this Illinois defense. Yeah. And Allen only a couple of yards. And the kick from Sahadak. No good. The 3rd missed kick between these two teams. He'll keep it here. A nice fake. Altmaier is tripped up by Reed. Lost the football.
Ground can't cause a fumble. I think it.
Going down the field, the runner was down prior to the ball coming out. It is 2nd down.
Take a look right here. And yes. So clearly down. Keeps that at a 4-yard pickup. Illinois has had more penalty yardage than offensive yardage in this 2nd half. Back to the air, there's Pat Bryant. It had been a while since we called his name, and he keeps it rolling after the catch.
And multiple tight ends in, all blocking. It was a 2-man route. It was Bryant on the route and Zachary Franklin on the route. And I think we just need to see more of that from Illinois.
We look at Barry Lunny Jr. in his 3rd year as the offensive coordinator at Illinois. A very impressive comfort between him and Luke Altmaier this season. Fagan's the back. Play action. Altmaier lofts it. Sideline. Bryant. Incomplete. Handoff. Fagan to the outside. And to midfield will set up 3rd down and 4. Pitch it. Fagan. Oh! Met in the backfield by Tony Rojas.
But a lost yardage play, and now Illinois forced to go for it.
4 for 5 on 4th down this year.
Free play.
Got him. Altmaier. Sideline again. Franklin. Contested catch, and he dropped it. Franklin making a beeline to the officials. Kimber was in coverage, and either he's frustrated or he wants to have a chat. It looks like it's the former.
Offside. Defense number 11. 5-yard penalty.
Altmaier fires, and a whistle is going to blow this stat. Franklin made the catch, but a flag is down.
Yeah, they're saying an illegal motion.
False start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
Altmaier delivers, intercepted, picked off by A.J. Harris. He's got a convoy, and Harris to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Defense number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down and 10, Penn State.
Altmaier's first interception of the season after he had 4 against Penn State last year. He had been perfect so far, as that's a completion going to Luke Reynolds.
Good call by Tom Allen, showing one thing, disguising the coverage.
Katron Allen tripped up in the backfield. Dylan Rosiak got to him quick.
You have Singleton and Warren both on the same side. Now Warren back into the backfield. Singleton.
A lot of motion on Singleton. Aller surveys, delivers. Warren, 1st down.
Yeah, good patience by Drew Aller. Prabula now behind center.
Prabula keeps it. Got a blocker in front. And chopped down by Matthew Bailey.
They also had an extra offensive lineman. This is a lineman coming in motion, leading the play. This is Awane, number 71, who's going to come across and lead the play. That's a big old lead blocker out there blocking on a cornerback.
How good is that? Just moving, 6'4", 346.
Yeah, he's the starting left guard, but when they want to run that play, they bring another backup guard in and let him be the motion man.
Honorable mention all conference last year. Helps make it 2nd and 3. Allen has the rock, and he's got the 1st down. 2:37 here and ticking down. You've got the 2-minute timeout, Illinois with the 3 timeouts. Question is, can they stop this Penn State running game? Allen pushing the pile for 3, maybe 4. 185 yards between the two of them. Illinois as a team, 196 total yards. Allen cut back to the outside. Allen. It'll be close on the spot. It looks like they might give it to him, and if they do, 1st and goal. Well, approaching the 2-minute timeout.
And again, it's Awane, number 71, who's in the backfield this time as the lead blocker. Warren and Awane were the 2 backs in there with Allen.
1st and goal for Penn State. It's Allen on the handoff. It's Allen in the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. They put Ryan Barker out there for the extra point, who drills it. 600-yard game of Allen's career. Wosu sends it deep. Wiltshire lets it sail.
The lawn
player sacked again. Jalen Reed.
They came into the game with 4 sacks in the first 3 games. That's the 5th sack of the night. Jalen Reed coming on a blitz. See how he just kind of found a little crease, kind of snuck his way around there, avoided the block. That's why he's so effective around the line of scrimmage. He has a knack for making plays.
Pressure coming again. Durant in pursuit. He gets rid of it, and Fagan is dragged down by Rojas.
I've really been impressed by Zane Durant tonight. He's not the biggest of those interior defensive linemen, but he is quick and powerful, and he has made his presence felt in the backfield.
Altmaier gets away. Altmaier on the run. Knocked away. He was looking for Beatty. Elliott Washington II got a hand on it. Fourth in the ball game. Altmaier feeling it. Altmaier evades and completes. Wide open, a Beatty out of bounds. Altmaier rolls, fires, another one. Beatty gets a block. Beatty surveys, out of bounds. Altmaier on first down. Stands tall. Now has to get away. Carter got to him first. And down goes Altmaier again. 2nd and 15. No timeouts remaining for Illinois. Altmaier. Pressure comes. Altmaier lets it go. Nearly picked. It was Harris again, looking for a second. Altmaier's helmet is askew to set up 3rd and 15. Altmaier nearly went down. Flag is down. Fagan with the catch, tripped up.
Holding offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And this is now a 3rd and 25 for Altmaier and company. Altmaier on the run. Carter gets to him again. Ball comes loose. Scooped up, and the Nittany Lions say good night. Victory formation. Aller will take the knee. And Penn State passes its first test in major fashion. A dominant second-half defensive performance. And the Nittany Lions improve to 4-0 with a 21-7 victory here at home.